Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and children of all ages, we are back live here on the Investor Show. As always, this is your gracious host, the Prince of Investing, Prince Dykes. If you are catching this live, feel free to hit that like, subscribe, comment, and share button, and tell me where you are from. Where are we checking in tonight? This is a pretty late show, but I decided to do a show tonight. I've been off for the last couple of days. I had cross-link surgery done on my right eye. I had that done on my left eye. But I had it done on my right eye, made me pretty sensitive to light, so I had to lay low a little bit and wait till that healed up for me to be able to, I just had my checkup. Everything came out pretty well. I'm healing up pretty well, so now I can kind of come back. The only thing that was slowing me down was, when I'm shooting with you guys and girls, that's light coming from the background. And, sometimes that can make it a little bit hard for me to read for a substantial amount of time having light. So I've been wearing shades here for the last week or so, and I'll be wearing shades for the next 3 days. But today, we're going to come back. A lot's been going on. We've had an election. I definitely miss you guys and girls. I had to sit in little dark rooms a little bit and with shades on because I was very sensitive to light, but I was able to DM people back and forth. And I'm definitely glad to be back to do an episode. I did an episode with the NIO Jumps podcast. They asked me to come on that night for the election night. But we have a lot to talk about, ladies and gentlemen, a lot to talk about. So y'all are coming in, tell me where you're from. And hopefully tonight I won't have a big problem, zooming in. And I got my glasses, my old man glasses, I like to call them. If I have to put them on little old man glasses and look at that, to be able to see what guys and girls are saying in the comments. So, but anyway, we're going to talk about politics and business. What if we have a President Biden win versus if we have a Trump win? What's going to happen with earnings? We had Apple earnings come out. We had Microsoft earnings come out. We had Uber earnings come out today. And also, the market has overlooked, a lot of these great earnings that came out with companies. Why do I pay attention with earnings? Because earnings tells me what the future is going to be. If companies are not earning money, that means they can't hire people. If they can't hire people, that means unemployment will increase. Unemployment will increase. That's telling me we have people can't pay their mortgages. People can't pay their car notes. That could be a downturn on the economy. For prime example, if I was a CEO of a Fortune 500 company, or not a Fortune 500 company, but a publicly traded company, my job is to make money, to return money to shareholders. It's the same thing with as a portfolio manager. My job is to build portfolios that make people money. And if I can't make people money, then I won't have a job. Same thing with a CEO. So earnings are very important. Y'all hit that like, subscribe button as you are coming in. And before that, we are going to jump straight into it. But if you haven't done so already, I got to go ahead and remind you. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the bell icon. Hit that like, comment, and share button. Make sure you grab your Investor Show cup because we're going to go through the corporate earnings reports. Something you'll catch nowhere else. That somebody's going to sit down and go through earnings reports because at the end of the day, when I buy a company, if it goes down tomorrow, I'm not concerned if I know the earnings of the company. The 10Q report, the 10K report, pulling back those earnings, reading what those earnings are saying, reading what the CEO is saying. What is your earnings saying? Things like that. Before we go any further, the first thing we're going to get into is politics and business. We're going to get into politics and business first, but before we get into politics and business, let me see what you guys and girls are saying in the comment box. All right, we got Gregory Thompson. What's going on, Gregory Thompson? Big Al, that's my guy. Al Williams says, Prince Stocks, what's going on? Thank you. I just did my show over at Think Tech Hawaii, and I thought since I had been gone for a little while that I would come back and put on a little suit and tie a little bit, dress it up a little bit. Big Means Love Me. What do you think about Royal Caribbean stock? I'm from Michigan. Okay. Michigan is in the house today. I know Al is out here in Colorado, so we have Michigan. Royal Caribbean, I'm staying away from it. No, when I look at the travel industry, the travel stocks, my concern is I don't know how long this whole thing is going to go on. I'm not going to play around in the travel world. If I play in the travel world, I'm only going to go with Southwest Airlines or Delta, all those Caribbean, Royal Caribbean. Will they do well? I'm pretty sure, but I'm not taking that risk because I think some of those companies won't make it to the other side. Hopefully by next summer, this whole COVID-19 thing will slow down and we'll all be back to our normal lives. But it's a great way. I think companies like Royal Caribbean's, when you look at their bottom line, those companies, if they miss another year of the travel season, if they miss another spring and the summer, I don't know if they're going to make it. And that's not a place I'm looking to put my money at. If I was looking at the travel industry in general, I would be looking at more of the big financially fundamental, fundamental airline companies. And one of the best ones out there I've seen personally, and to my opinion, is Southwest Airlines and Delta. I'm not going to play with the little guys because I think some of those little guys will probably disappear, especially if we can't figure out this COVID-19 thing that's going on. So no Royal Caribbean for me. Brock N, he said, hello from Toronto. Okay, Canada's in the house. Hope you are feeling well, Prince. Yes, I am getting better. I have noticed, today, I haven't gotten my vision all the way back 100% yet in my right eye because I'm right eye dominant. I had this surgery done on my left eye, but I'm not left eye dominant. I'm right eye dominant. So that's what makes it a little different to read. And I will say I was down a little bit. I was down the first couple of days after surgery, because I couldn't read like I usually like to read. Financial reports, I only could read a little bit. And, I had to blow everything up very big and I had to move the screen around to see what things were saying. So I couldn't read like I wanted to. So I'm glad that it's coming back. So, yeah. Oh, there she is right there. Miss Crawford Benjamin. She said, good evening from North Carolina. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Miss North Carolina. And she said, glad your recovery is going well. Yes. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you. And usually I don't like publicize those things, but I did. I decided some of you guys, girls, I never met before in real life, but it's like I know you guys, from around the way. And I just kind of want to get a little bit more personal so y'all know that I am a real person, that you hear over the airways and see over the airways that I'm a real person. I go through real things and things like that or whatnot. So definitely glad to be back. King Carter said, I'm happy you're back and healthy. King Carter, what's going on? He's out there in New York City. We got New York City, North Carolina, and Toronto, and Colorado is in the building. What's going on, King Carter? What y'all think about Uber? We're going to talk about Uber today. Uber had a great day. Everybody's been doing good. He said, what are your top 3 things you look at when reading earnings report? Oh, okay. That's a tough one there, Brooke N from Toronto. I like that profile picture too. What's that you holding up? That's some dollars. That's some euros or something like that. I can't see all the way. I like to see top line revenue growing. Top line revenue is a company making money. I can see that on the income statement. Top line revenue. Is it growing? Right? Is a company making money? Is the earnings are increasing? Because if I'm making an investment today, I don't care about what you've done in the past, but I'm trying to make an indication for future earnings. So if you're on a downward spiral of making less and less money, I'm not going to be concerned with you. So are your earnings increasing? Are you making more and more and more money? The second thing I'm going to look for is, are you profitable? Are you, once everything's said and done, are you turning a profit? Just because you made $10 million, but at the end of the day, if you are netting a negative $5 million, that's not too cool with me, unless that negative is slowly decreasing and you have a plan of becoming profitable. So I like to look at profitability, top line revenue. I also like bottom line revenue, and I like to look at debt to income ratios. So how much debt do you have and how much cash do you have? Debt to equity ratio. I like to look at working capital. So I wanted to look at that debt to equity. Can you pay off your debt? What are your long-term? I like to look at how much debt do you have equivalent to how much cash. Like some people may say, I owe $10 million in debt. Everyday people would be like, $10 million in debt, that's a lot of money. That's not a lot when you are earning $50 million, right? It's not a lot when you have $50 million sitting in cash. So I like to look at how much debt do you have, because that's the number one thing that tells me if a company is going to go out of business or struggle, because when companies have uncontrollable debt, instead of expanding, they stop expanding and start worrying about their debt. So that's a big thing I like to look at. So my top 3 things would be top line revenue. Is the revenue growing or increasing or whatnot? Is the cash building up? right? Kind of relates to now. I look at that bottom line. Once you pay all of your bills or you turn a profit, it's that profit continuing to grow or the retained earnings continuing to grow. And the other thing is your debt. Is your debt controllable or uncontrollable? That's how we'll have to wrap up my top three things. Max B said, glad you back, my guy. Oh, yeah, of course I wasn't going to go away for too long. Definitely, just something I like doing. Sometimes it's a struggle to do it, but something I like doing myself. And definitely I was going to be back. It was just a matter of time for me to, get back going. Dennis, I know that's Max B. Max B's out of Washington. Dennis, my first time seeing you here, Dennis. He says, what's going on with you, King? What are your thoughts on cannabis stocks? Right now, marijuana industry, we just saw New Jersey, business and politics tied into it. Marijuana stocks are doing very good. Not very good, but they just got approved in New Jersey. Denver, the first city to legalize marijuana, has been killing it in the marijuana industry. But to me right now, I can't make an investment into the marijuana industry because there's so many companies. I mean, dispensaries are popping up left and right, but I don't know who's going to be the guy to go into the future, the guy or the girl to go into the future. I don't know. So since I don't know that, I have to wait to the riffraff. It's like with cryptocurrencies. I'm trying to wait to see who's going to be the king, if it's even around in 5 years. I'm sure cannabis will be around, but I believe about 50 to 60% of cannabis companies that we're seeing today, they will wash away. Like right now, if you tell me, Prince, if you want to invest into a hamburger joint, it'd probably be the top three companies I would think of is Burger King, McDonald's, and Wendy's. If somebody was to say, hey, what's the top shoe brand, I would probably look at Nike and Adidas. Right now, people say ride share. Who's in the ride share space? Uber, Lyft, right? Right now, I can't say that with cannabis. There's so many companies out there. Some of them are fake. They're not making money. I don't know enough about them. I've never smoked or inhaled or had any marijuana in my life. As up to this point, I'm active duty military, so I can't. So I don't know a whole lot about it. I've seen some dispensaries. I know they make money, but I haven't seen too many profitable companies that I'm willing to back money into. But I believe if you wait and be patient over time, somebody will rear their head. That's my idea on that, Dennis. That's my thought. Michael, what's going on? He's out there in Canada. He said, good evening, everyone. Prince, great to see you back, better than ever. Of course, I've been an underdog my whole life, Mike, coming from a small town, had no athletic ability, no academic ability. So, I've always been the underdog, and I love being the underdog throughout life myself. So here I am, of course. I love this position to be the underdog. I love to be underestimated, and that's why I continue to go. Max B said, oh, yeah, Uber had a week. We have to talk about them. We're going to get into Uber. We're going to get into Apple. I can't Pierce. Somebody says, hello, Karen, New York City. New York City's in the building. Okay, King Carter and New York City, but currently in San Jose. Okay, in the Bay Area. I'm focusing on REITs and weed stocks. Now, when I look at REITs are real estate investment trusts. What type of REITs are you focusing on? Somebody wrote me once and said, Prince, can you look at this REIT? And this REIT was investing into shopping centers. I said, heck no, I would not be investing into shopping centers because as we all know, shopping centers are dying. E-commerce is where it's going. You're looking at companies, these big department stores are slowly transitioning online. Look at Gap. Look at all these companies. So look at Amazon continues to dominate, right? I forgot to put in Amazon, but we could look at Amazon earnings as well. But no, so it all depends on what type of REITs. Commercial. When I look at REITs, sometimes they invest into commercial real estate. I'm not interested in commercial real estate because right now everybody's working from home and people are saying, wait till we get back to work. And they're not realizing, I don't think some of us are going to go back to work. Some of us are probably, if I was a company, I plan on working out of this office in my basement until I am forced out of here. This is going to be my office for a very, very long time. And that's a lesson I learned from Warren Buffett. You look at Warren Buffett's office. It's not a big office. He's been there for 50, 60 years. and he never expanded and things like that. And I think that companies will start to evaluate companies like Facebook and Amazon, these people who's been at home for a whole year now. They're going to say, why am I paying rent on this big building? Why do I need this big building? I think a lot of people will start to try to, so I'm not very interested right at this current moment at commercial real estate. And I'm not very interested at this moment in shopping centers. I know that people say buy low, distressed companies. Y'all can have that. I'm not really, at this time, I don't look at it and see how fruitful that could be. Unless it's something like a Walmart or Home Depot, maybe. He said, Uber is good. However, they're spending too much money. I want to see them profitable soon. King Carter, we're going to get to that. Kevin Woods, Lancaster, California. Your thoughts on Eve stocks like NIO, Plug, Blink? If Biden gets elected, I invested pretty heavily in those stocks so far. NIO Plug, I looked up that company before. I remember talking about, I think Plug is the battery company. NIO, that's supposed to be the Chinese version of Tesla, competitive Tesla. Blink, I'm not sure of. Definitely, we're going to talk about a presidential election. I definitely see green energy, renewable energy, electric vehicles, renewable energies. I can see them doing very well on a Biden win. I definitely can see that. But instead of an NIO, it's a Chinese-made company that exposes you something to what is called international risk or foreign risk, some people like to call it. If tariffs get passed, I don't know how President Biden will handle international trades. So we'll have to see on that. Brock N says, thank you, Prince. Anytime. EV stocks, Kevin. Okay, there's electric vehicles. We're going to get into that a little bit. Thank you, King Dennis. No problem, man. Be patient. There's a lot of marijuana companies out there. If there was a mutual fund or ETF that tracked all of them, I would be more inclined to that. But right now, I believe all these companies that are running into the marijuana space, I don't think they're going to be profitable. And I think it's going to take a while. But wait till the smoke clear and the cream will rise to the top. When the cream rises to the top, that's when I'll be making my pick, if I make a pick into the marijuana industry. So that's my take. He said, for your weed head stock people, keep an eye on BLZOF. They make weed breathalyzers. Oh, with weed being legalized, police departments is going to want to use this product. Okay, I can see that, to see if people are driving around high on marijuana. That's a pretty good one, King Carter. Researching Amazon warehouses and database centers. We're going to touch Amazon. Hello, Michael says, hello, everyone at the Investor Show. First time live stream. Thank you, Michael. Where you from? Michael McFeely. Thank you for tuning in, coming in. Business and politics, ladies and gentlemen. I thought by now we would have a president. Let me see what y'all are saying here. I missed it. Will you have a show about 2 to 3 year option plays with ETFs? You know what? We can do. I'm going to do a show on index option trading. We can do something like that. Wait till the smoke clears on those weed stock. Genius. Yeah, that's true. I didn't even think about that. Financial bars, man. Sometimes I need to put out a financial mixtape where, because sometimes I'll be dropping some financial bars. Wait till the smoke clears. I'm going to hit up my buddy and tell him to put that on the meme. That's going to be on my Instagram tomorrow morning. Wait till the smoke clears on those weed stocks. I believe that majority of them are going to fade out, or whatnot. We'll see. No, okay, Michael's from Long Island. Cool, great. All right, Long Island, New York City. Okay, business and politics. Right now, I thought we would have a presidential election. Hit that like, subscribe, comment button as you are coming in. That helps with the algorithm. That, share this, tell your mama, brother, cousin. This is the best show on finance. The reason why nobody else is going to take you through financial reports. Some people love to talk through finances, but later on in this show, we're going to go through earnings reports. We're going to look at income statements, balance statements, and cash flow statements on these companies. So people lie, numbers don't, right? So right now, the stock market crash tomorrow, I'm not overly concerned with my portfolio because I know the companies that I have, Southwest Airlines, can wait till the smoke clear. Delta will make it through the other side. Royal Caribbean, I don't know. So looking at the financial companies, tearing through these finances and looking at companies' earnings is, I'm a fundamental person. I'm not a trader. I'm not a day trader. Tell you how to get rich tomorrow morning with a day trade. I leave that for the traders. And the reason why I always say this, I'm kind of segueing a little bit, but when you look at all of these people that's talking about trading, option trading, day trading, penny stock trading, backwards trading, here's a book right here. This is my latest book I just finished. Jesse Livermore, world greatest stock trader, right? Jesse Livermore. He was in the late 1800s, early 1900s. Shout out to Gennaro TV, who purchased this book for my birthday and sent it to me, so I definitely appreciate it. I read this entire book. Now, with all these day traders and stuff like that, none of them, when you Google who has made the most money off of the stock market, is Warren Buffett. So when I look at Warren Buffett, what did he do different from everybody else? And what he did, he was a buy and holder. So I'm an investor. I look at fundamentals. I look at buying value and holding it for a long period of time. That's my look. So we look at finances here on this show. If you think you're going to tune in and be like, hey, I'm trying to, hit this thing and get it tomorrow, you might want to find somebody else to tune into, but that's what we do here on the show. And I guarantee you by the end of every episode, you're going to learn something new and you're going to look at finances totally different. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, let's get to it. Business and politics. We already know the first thing is Uber has had a great week. As you guys and girls know that I'm a big Uber fan. I believe Uber is looking like Facebook did back in 2013. I remember when Facebook came out, I thought it was stupid. I said, social media, man, come on, going public, man, this is crazy. Who's going to, MySpace was going out, Facebook was coming in. I remember a guy was asking me, I was walking one day, he said, Prince, what do you think about Facebook? This is back in 2013 when it was doing his IPO for around about 20, 30 bucks. I was like, Facebook is unprofitable. It's a website. Social media. Before Facebook, it was MySpace. Before MySpace, it was blackplanet.com, these dating sites. Who's going to invest in that? That's crazy. Now you fast forward 7 years, how dumb do I look, right? So I said, you know what? The thing about it, I got smarter and I realized that, hey, I need to start paying attention to when companies come out. How can they shape, even though they may be unprofitable now, are they positioned to dominate their space? Facebook is dominating social media. And that's something that I believe that Uber was going to do. Uber, business and politics section. Uber had Proposition 22. And when you had Proposition 22 was pretty much put up by California to destroy Uber and Lyft. And Uber and Lyft said, hey, if we can't win here, we're going to get out of here. Now, the first thing is Uber is a $30 billion, probably more than that now, I'm sure, $30 billion market cap company. We all know in America, I'm not saying it's fair, but we all know in America, it's not about who's right and who's wrong. It's about who has the money. And if you have a great attorney and you have a great team, you can buy influence and you can buy the best legal team money can buy, and you can get away with a lot of things that smaller companies are not able to do. This is why I pay attention to market capitalization. How big is that company? Uber has a lot of money to be able to pay the biggest lawyers in the world, and I knew they wasn't going to let that company just disappear. They was going to figure out something. They was going to turn into a franchise. They were going to do something. So anyway, so business and politics, right now we're still in the heat of a battle of a election. It's looking like we're going to have President Biden. I looking at the S&P 500. I was thinking that President Trump was going to win. But now you look at the futures of the market right now, you're seeing markets go down. You're seeing futures are starting to head down, but you're looking at everybody's in here asking me, Prince, what do you think about green energy? You can look at it. Look at the futures right now. Look at things like iClean, ICLN. Look at it in the aftermarket. It's doing well. It's starting to go up. All the green energy stocks are doing well. They're going up because Biden is a very big renewable energy guy. So also the rest of the stocks are down due to potential change of guards. Anytime you have uncertainty in the market, we don't know what Biden is going to do. Is he going to be good for the market? Is he going to be bad for the market? What does this take? When you walk into uncertainty, people start to sell stocks. They start to move to cash to kind of see before they make their next move. I have some money. I sold off from some things and I'm sitting in cash to see what's going to happen, right? Now we're going to get into it. Business and politics. What happened in the last time, ladies and gentlemen? What happened the last time President Trump won? what stock or what industry went crazy? In the beginning of the pandemic, what did everybody go out there and do? What everybody got crazy? What everybody went out there and did when President Trump won the first time? Just think about it. What did everybody, when he won the first time, we had the pandemic, what did we have a shortage of besides toilet paper? Here it is, ladies and gentlemen. Guns and ammo. Gun and ammo. Gun and ammo. I can see, President Trump, he did receive a lot of votes. And I think that if he loses, I think that a lot of people feel like, hey, we're going to have, we've had riots, we had civil unrest, we've had riots throughout the whole year, followed by a pandemic that was going on that scared a lot of people. People went out and brought guns. People went out and brought ammo. It was a shortage of ammo. I had a buddy that had an AR-15 with no bullets because he couldn't get any ammo. And the price of ammo just started to increase and the supply of ammo just started to decrease. So I think we will see that again. If we have a President Biden win, I think a lot of people will go out and buy guns and ammo. So, Smith & Wesson and people who make bullets and things like that, more so, I believe ammunition would do better than guns because, myself, I have 3 guns now. Actually, I have 2 guns now. I have a 12 gauge pistol grip and a 9mm pistol. But I also, I'm looking to get an assault rifle or something like that. But ammo is very big. So I think that guns and ammo, as you're looking around, will start to creep up and do very well. This is business and politics at its best. So, Prince, why do you care about earnings? Earnings is very important due to the fact of, people can sit here and say the economy is bad, unemployment is bad, my house is bad, my neighborhood is bad or whatnot. But earnings, the reason why I pay attention to earnings, because at the end of the day, it boils down to, are companies making money? Are they making more money or they're making less money? If they are making more and more money, they're probably going to hire more and more people. If the company is making less and less money, they'll probably start to lay off people, which in return would increase unemployment. As unemployment starts to increase, people won't do things for leisure. They may not go out and shop. They may not buy that new home. They may not be able to pay their mortgage. If they can't pay their mortgage or their rent, we will see an increase in foreclosure. You guys and girls see how the economic cycle starts to all evolve. Since people don't have jobs, they're not at home buying stuff on Amazon. Amazon earnings starts to decline. Amazon earnings start to decline. The stocks start to decline, meaning my portfolio start to decline. So this is why I watch earnings, pay attention to earnings, and read earnings reports. 98% of investors that purchase stocks do not read earnings. And I was that guy for a long time. So we're going to get into that. So this is why we read earnings. The first one up, let's get into Uber. Everybody loves Uber. Uber is fresh off the press. Uber is the brand new one. Let's look at it together. Uber earnings. Let's see what Uber is saying. All righty here. Hopefully I don't mess this up. Is this the one here? No, that's a 10K. I think it's this one. Did I get it right? Okay. This is Uber 8K, but before we pull up Uber's 8K, let's look at Uber's press release first. Here we go here. Uber's press release. There we go. Here we go. This is the press release for Uber. Uber announces results for third quarter 2020 on November 5th, which is today, a couple hours ago. Revenue of $3.1 billion declined 18% year over year, or 17% consistent with currency basis. Currency basis means that depending on, let's say if they made their money in Europe, they made a bunch of euros, but when they convert that to dollars, it changes depending on the value of the dollar versus the strength of the dollar. So that's what they mean when they say currency basis when you have global international companies. So now this is coming from San Francisco. Uber Technologies. Uber went up 14% as it defeated Proposition 22. But Uber, this is their earnings. They said their gross bookings declined by 14%, by $14 billion, down 10% year over year, or a constant 8% on a constant earnings basis. With mobile gross bookings declining 15%, Delivery gross bookings grew 135% respectively on a currency constant basis. So pretty much they're saying that people who called the Uber and took a ride, what Uber is known for, declined, right? Which is kind of expected, going through a pandemic, going through what we got with COVID-19. We're seeing Uber they're saying people are not catching as many rides. People are not out and about. People are not out there drinking and partying and clubbing compared to this time last year. So that has declined 50%. Now, this gives me an indication that Lyft, if Uber is down 50%, how much do you think Lyft is down? All Lyft does is give rides. Now you read the next line. Uber says our delivery gross bookings grew 135%. If you remember Chipotle earnings told you that delivery services had grew big time. So compared to this time last year, Uber Eats was the winner. So they lost money. So they eat three ways in Uber. They have Uber. They give people rides. You can call Uber and take a ride downtown. Also, you can order food from Uber via Uber Eats. And also with Uber Freights, you can move stuff from place to place. So before all of this, Uber delivery, catching rides was a big thing. So when I see a big decline on Uber bookings, Uber mobile bookings, that lets me know that Lyft Uber bookings is probably down too. And that's the only thing that Uber does. So when Uber gets ready to release their earnings, I can see a potential decline in Lyft because that's all they do. What kept Uber up was they own Uber Eats and they also purchased Postmates for $2.5 billion, right? They said revenue declined. This is why the stock went down about 2% after the market closed because they're seeing a decline in revenue due to people not catching as many rides. They're saying that net loss of Uber was $1.1 billion, which is include $130 billion compensation expense. Mobile adjusted, they get into that, which is fine. So let's see what they have to say about all of this. They're saying despite an uneven pandemic response and broader economical uncertainty, they're saying that, hey, Uber was supposed to be profitable. King Carter, you spoke about Uber being profitable. You wanted Herp to get profitable. Their plan was to be profitable round about this time. Last year, they said the fourth quarter of next year, we're going to be profitable, but the pandemic jumped in. So they're saying despite even an uneven pandemic response and broader economical uncertainty, our global scope, diversification, and team tireless execution deliver a steadily improving results with the total company's gross bookings down 6% year on year in September, said the CEO. Mobile gross bookings nearly doubled from quarter two levels and delivery surged again 135% year over year. So Uber Eats is what's keeping Uber alive. That's why I like them over Lyft. They're not a one-trick pony. That's why I'm not crazy about Facebook. Facebook makes money one way, meaning that if that one way of making money is disrupted, the whole company goes down. Uber is saying that, hey, our people catching rides went down, but guess what? Our people eating Uber Eats went up. Thanks to our increased pace of innovation, which saw us launch a new industry of safety technology, extended delivery offerings into grocery stores and prescriptions. So now they're doing this thing called Uber Green. I don't know what Uber Green is, but now they are now delivering groceries and prescriptions. So now you can go on to Uber, I guess, and call Walgreens and pick up my eye drop medicine, right? And they'll bring it to you. So they're doing Uber Green into 50 cities, expanding both Uber's Pass and Eats Pass membership plans. So now Uber is expanding. They're saying, hey, we're not only going to deliver food and we're not only going to give rides. We own Postmates now. So now we're going to deliver your groceries and we're even bringing your prescriptions of medicine, right? As consolidated growth returns, it will return to a more profitable foundation, says the CFO. So they're saying that as we get back to normal, we'll become more profitable. Over our mobile segment generated $245 billion, up $200 million quarter to quarter, while our improvement in delivery margins by more than 10 points. Through continual strong execution, cost discipline, we remain confident in our ability to achieve quarterly adjustable I can't even say that word, EBITDA. All my financial people know what that word is. Profitability before the end of 2021. So right here, they're saying before the end of 2021, they're planning on being profitable. Before the end of 2021, Uber is saying they're planning on being profitable. So right here, you're pretty much going to see what they're already saying here. They're saying that, hey, our money now, our money maker now is pretty much Uber Eats. Uber Eats has taken over. And now this is a cool thing that I've seen here. I wanted to get into before I got into something. Here's something I thought was pretty cool. Uber Rental. I never heard of Uber Rental, but I've heard of them kind of talking about this, but they spoke about it here in their earnings. Let me see, can I scroll down and find it? Here it is. Okay, right here. They launched Uber Rental following a successful global pilot. Launch Uber Rental in the UK, a new feature that allows customers to reserve rental cars in the Uber app. So now with your Uber app, you're going to be able to rent somebody else's car. So I think that how that works, I'm not 100% sure, that let's say if I own a car, I can rent my car. I can say, hey guys, I'm pretty sure you won't want to rent the car I drive. But let's say if you have a 18 Honda that, you may have two vehicles. I guess you can rent it on the weekends now, and somebody can just rent a car from somebody. That's pretty crazy. It's almost like Airbnb or rental cars. So Uber Rental, they said they launched, they did a couple of pilots. I heard they was going to shut it down, but they said they had a successful launch, and they launched it in the UK. This is a new feature that allows people to now rent cars. So that's a new thing. They plan on being profitable by the end of next year. People are asking, they're supposed to be profitable by the end of this year, but this has been a crazy year of 2020. So they're saying they're going to be profitable by next year. If Uber becomes profitable by next year, it's going over $100. Again, mark my words, if Uber can become profitable by next year, it's at $40 today, it will be over $100. If they can pull this off. So a new feature that I like, they are talking about now, launching Uber Rentals. You're not going to be able to get on Uber and rent a car now. That's pretty cool, almost like Airbnb. So I think the next time I plan on flying to plan on going to a wedding in January. And I guess when I go to that wedding and I get off the plane, instead of going to the rental car section like I usually do, I can just maybe rent somebody's car. I guess, that's pretty cool. I like to see how that turns out. But I like to see expansion, and they have a plan on becoming profitable by the end of 2021. So that's the story. We're going to see, can they pull out, and can Uber become profitable? And that's going to be the most part for Uber Rental. The next thing we're going to do, we're going to jump into Apple's earnings. Apple's earnings came out a few weeks ago, right before I went into surgery, and I felt as though that a lot of people overlooked Apple's great earnings. I felt that people just went to sleep on Apple's earnings. I think they looked at the earnings and, this $1 trillion, everybody's talking about iPhone sales. Oh man, iPhone 12 sales are down. I was going to get an iPhone 12, but looking at the iPhone, I have an iPhone 10, and I was looking at getting a 12, but I don't really see that big of a difference from the 12 and the 11. So I'm probably going to end up getting an 11 and calling it in the day. So, and plus, I don't want to wait a whole nother month before I can get another phone. But so many people are looking, look at those iPad sales and things like that. We're going to take a look. Before we get into that, let me see what you guys and girls are saying in the comments. Okay. Dennis, he's laughing. I think he was laughing at my financial bars. I got to remember that, man. When the smoke, wait until the smoke clears on marijuana companies, right? Okay. Kevin Wood says, thanks, no problem. What is that? Daddy Dobson says, long plays are the best. Okay, I'm with you with that. Golda, she says, IIPR owns a lease industry. I'm thinking that's a reef, right? Owns a lease industry, real estate asset. It focuses on the acquisition, construction, development, and management of industry facilities, lease to tenants in the regular medical use cannabis industry. Sounds a little bit complex there. That sounds like they own real estate for dispensaries. I'm guessing for people to grow marijuana. Am I understanding that correctly? That's what you're telling me? That don't sound too bad. B Max B, what's going on? He says the fact that trucking is becoming a thing. I know Uber Freight is making money. Yes. I don't. Uber Freight is making money. They were on there. We can look at their finances as well. It hasn't been a big component. It has turned some money, but it hasn't been a big component of Uber. You're looking at companies like Amazon that are starting to deliver their own products. Things like that. So I don't know who else will follow suit. But trucking is still around. Trucking is still valuable, right? He said, like Turo, nice move. Well, Turo, I'm guessing that's a rental car company. He said, nice move, Uber. Yes. More knowledge. He says, speaking, what's going on there? More knowledge. LK Raw is back in the building. He said, Apple phones are overrated. Only get the 12 if you want 5G, but keep in mind the true 5G is a year plus out. I'm definitely done with it. I'm hitting my light here behind me. I need to move my foot, I guess. But here, my thing with Apple iPhones, before Steve Jobs died, when the first iPhone, second, third, and fourth, there was a lot of innovation. When the tablets came out, there was a lot of innovation. Ever since the 4, you haven't seen too much innovation in phones. I mean, the iPhone 10 and the iPhone 12, they're talking about, welcome to 5G, whatever. It's getting thinner, better color. It's thinner, it's faster. Every piece of electronics says they're thinner, faster, lighter. That's not for me. The reason why I'm looking at getting a new phone, because I'm very horrible with electronics. I treat them very badly. And my phone, I can keep a phone for about 2 years before it done got banged up. So my 10 is a little banged up, and I was looking at getting a 12, but it's nothing out there to make me wait 2 years for to get a 12. So yeah, I agree with you. Not that much innovation on Apple, but we're going to take a look at them. He said, can't lie, that 12 looks so nice. I don't care about the 5G. Yeah, you're right. But guess what? Most people are going to take their phone and put it in a case anyway. So you're not going to even be able to look at it. So, the 12 looked pretty good, but I'll just get me an 11 Pro, call it a day. And I can get that tomorrow if I felt like it. I can get it mailed to me. I can walk into a Verizon store and get me a new 11 and call it a day. Versus getting a new 12. 12 doesn't have anything that's so sexy that I'm just like, man, I need to hold out. That's just not doing it for me right now. Now let's get into their earnings. Let's get into what really matters. Apple's earnings is up next. Because I know some of y'all said, Max B, you said, man, I haven't been reading my 10K reports. That's okay. You could tune into the Investor Show. We'll read the 10K. All right. Apple's reports 4-quarter earnings. This came out a few weeks ago. Apple did today announce financial results as a fiscal quarter 2020, 4-quarter ended in 2016. The company posted a record September revenue of $64 billion. This stock is trading for $100, and they have a revenue of $64 billion and a quarterly earnings per share diluted at 73 cents. International sales accounted for 59% of the quarterly earnings. So 60% of their money came from overseas, and they made $64 billion they added to the books. Apple capped off the fiscal year decline in innovation in a face of an adversity with September quarterly record, led by all-time record for Mac services. Tim Cook, despite the ongoing incapacities of COVID-19, Apple is in the midst of the most prolific product introduction product of the year, and their early response on all new products led by our 5G incapable iPhones. I'm not even, what's so cool about 5G? I'm not really getting it. I hear what people are saying, but I'm not crazy about it. Has been tremendously positive for most remote learning from home. Office, Apple products have been a window to the world for users, and the pandemic continues. So it's saying as people work from home, they're making money, and our teams have met the needs of the moment of creativity, passion, kinds, and big ideas that only Apple can deliver. Our outstanding September quarterly performance includes a remarkable fiscal year where we established all new revenue, earnings per share. And they're paying a cash dividend. Apple announced a 25 cent per share cash dividend on the company stock. The dividend is payable on November 12th to shareholders. So next week, Apple shareholders are going to get a 25%, well, a 20 cent extra dividend. Shareholders record, so if you own the stock by the 9th, if you buy the stock by the end of this week, you'll get a dividend next week. Apple, and also let me tell you this, usually the day of the dividend, the stock dips. So if you're looking at buying Apple, the day that the company pays the dividend, the stock dips. So I know people out there make money from that, but that could be an opportunity for you to get in and buy. When they released these earnings, Apple stock went down, I want to say 2 to 4% after releasing earnings. Now, Apple has roared up. The whole market has roared up this week. So Apple has been running up. And I looked at it and I said, man, Apple has some great earnings. This is this company made $64 billion. Why are they going down? So they're talking about they're going to have the call. So now let's take a look at the actual 10K report they released. Here we go here. Let's take a look at the 10K report that they actually released. So where we at? Where are we at? Don't screw this up. Yeah, I sure didn't screw it up. All right, Apple 10K report is in front of you for you to see at your display. Okay, let's see. Let's get down to the nitty and gritty of the business. At the end of the day, you got to make money. Nobody cares about nothing else. Are you making money? How are you looking? Okay, I should have just clicked on a hyperlink. Let me go back. I don't have time to stroll through all of this. Let's get to the hyperlink. I don't want to hear about the competition and business risk. Not at this time. Selected financial data. Boom. Here we go. All right. All right. So last year, look at their net sales. The sales have increased during a pandemic. Look at the net. Look at the net income. Net income has increased. 2019, I'm pretty sure that's $55 billion. The net income after they paid their bills, they're up to $57 billion. I like to see that, right? 2018 was a little bit stronger, but they're beating 2019 in the middle of a pandemic. That's great to hear. Let's look at that balance sheet. So they're saying that iPhone sales have declined 3% due to innovation, but the MacBook has gone up 11%. The iPad has gone up 11%. The wearables, the Apple Watch they're talking about, and the home accessories have gone up 25%. So the bread and butter from last year, product sales have gone up between the Apple Watch, I forgot about the Apple Watch, and the home accessories, right? So Apple has done very well there. Their iPhones have gone down. I mean, so they're saying product net sales includes decline value, unrestricted software, upgraded rights to sell. Okay, cool. So iPhone net sales decreased in 2020 compared to 2019, primarily due to the absence of the new iPhone's models in the fourth quarter and the weakness in its foreign currency related to the US dollar, partially offset by the introduction of the iPhone SE. So essentially what they're saying is due to the weak dollar, let's say if you made a bunch of money overseas in euros, but by the time you convert it to the dollar, if the dollar is weak, you make less money versus if the dollar is strong. So by having a strong dollar, it does good overseas, but if you have a weak dollar, things cost more overseas. So when I travel to Europe, if I have $5 in my pocket and the dollar is strong, I can buy a lot in Europe. But if the dollar is weak, I can buy less in Europe, if that makes sense. So they're saying that, hey, due to they didn't bring out the new iPhone this year, that's why the iPhone sales decreased, and they're saying that the dollar was weak compared to foreign currencies or whatnot. That's their reason for the iPhone sales decline. It only went down 3%, and I will agree they didn't bring out the 12 until the end of the year, so I can have them. I don't really care about that, but it's very important. I like to see money coming into the company. Now let's look at gross margin. Look at the gross margin. Products and services. You're talking about, look at it in 2018, they had $100 billion they made, declined to $98 billion. In 2020, they're up to 104 gross profits. Gross profits is very margin. is very, very important, right? When you see gross profits increasing, that means you're going to make more and more money. So let's see, where's their balance sheet? I want to see their balance sheet. Let's get on down to the nitty gritty. Let's see what their balance sheet is. All right. Operations, income, consolidated. Let's look at this one. Let's see if this one has it. No, I think I skipped over it. Let's get back to where it was. I'm trying to get the actual. Oh, here we go. Here we go. There we go. Okay, I almost skipped over you. All right, so this is the balance sheet. So current assets. This is in millions. So they have total current assets of $143 billion current assets. That's money that their current assets have gone down. It looks like they had a decrease in accounts receivable, maybe due to the iPhone not coming out, what they spoke about earlier. But let's see. Let's look at the total. They have a total assets of, this company have a total assets of $323 billion. $323 billion, but this company is trading for 25% of what Zoom is trading for. It's trading for half the price of Facebook. It has $323 billion in assets, right? Now let's take a look at those liabilities. All right. So the total current liabilities, I will give them this. From last year to this year, the liabilities stayed the same. So they have a working capital of around about $40 billion. That's money they have to work with. $40 billion. That's not bad. Total assets of $323 billion. Now we're going to go here. They have a total liabilities of $258 billion. So the shareholders' equity should be around about $65 billion. So they have a net worth of about $65 billion. Total liabilities and shareholders' equity 65. Okay, so $65 billion is the company's net worth. $65 billion. That's taking all their total assets, minus their total liabilities, right? Another thing is I'm looking at their liabilities stay the same, and the term debt kind of decreased there. I do like that. The total liabilities did increase slightly, but they have enough money on hand. They have $40 billion in working capital, and they also have $65 billion in net worth. So their debt is very doable, and you can do debt to equity ratio. You take the total assets of a company. I don't have that book on me right now, but you can use different type of ratios, but looking pretty nice, especially for a company costing $100. Let's see here. Let's look at these retained earnings. Y'all heard me speak about retained earnings. I like to see retained earnings increasing. So beginning balance of retained earnings. Okay, which year? Make sure I got the year right. So 2018, I see the beginning balance is declining. The net income did increase from last year. So this is what I'm not big on. See, when people love to say dividends, oh, I love dividends. Yeah, dividends are cool, but I'm not crazy about dividends because as you can see, out of their retained earnings, this year they said they had $45 billion, right? But then they had to decrease $14 billion to pay in dividends, right? So I would rather Apple keep that money and continue to grow to build a 5G network than to pay me 25 cents per share. That's my personal take. That's why I'm not overly crazy on dividends like I used to be. Because right now, I'm not based upon getting a check every month from a stock that I have to pay taxes on. So think about it. The company already paid taxes on this money, but now they have to turn around and pay taxes again, right? So this is the way I look at it. So now they have to put out $14 billion in dividends. And then this is always good right here. Common stock repurchase. They're repurchasing their own stock. So last year, they repurchased $72 billion of their own stock. When a company repurchases its own stock, that boosts the price of the stock. They are decreasing the amount of shares outstanding. That is boosting the price of the stock. It's almost like cheating in their own way. They're taking their money, they're repurchasing their own stock. And if a company's that's a good financial indicator when a company is repurchasing its own stock. So they spent $72 billion in buying its own stocks back. They spent $14 billion in dividends. Common stock was held related to net settlements or rewards. I guess they gave away 1.6 billion, maybe to their workers or whatnot. So the ending balance was $14 billion. So look at this. They purchasing more of their own stock. The ending balance, I don't like the major decrease there in their ending balance, but it seemed like they had a decrease in their ending balance due to what? Due to what increase here? Cumulative effective charges and accounting principles. Okay. They had a little lawsuit go on there that they lost $136 million compared to the prior years. Let's keep on strolling down here. All right. So the retained earnings, of course, beginning balance, the cumulative ending balance. Okay. So the total shareholders' equity is decreasing. It went from 107 down to 900, down to 65. Not crazy about that. And they're increasing their dividends. But the good part about it, at least a lot of their retained earnings, they invested into themselves. They purchased their own stock. They purchased $72 billion of their own stock this year. So overall, this is a pretty financially, the company, $65 billion in retained earnings in 2020. Not too bad. And let's see how much money they're sitting on in cash. We looked at it earlier. And they're sitting on $143 billion in cash. Right? And if they paid all their debt, they can pay all of their current, let's see what their long-term debt is. So think about it here. Their term debt, non-current liabilities, 153. So pretty much Apple, with the money they have in their bank, they can pay pretty much their long-term debt, right? Their non-current liability, stuff they owe within the next, that's over a year old, is 153. But the money they have in their bank account, they can pretty much pay off all of their debt. So the debt is very incontrollable. They have a nice bit of cash. I would like to see Apple do some more expanding. And this is not accumulating for the iPhone 12, right? Going into the most powerful season of the earnings season. So not too bad, but the stock decline, that lets me know when I'm looking at the fundamentals and I see the stock decline, that tells me a sale is probably going on. That is Apple's earnings. Right, let me see what y'all are saying in the comments. Let me see here. Max B said that the 12 comes out tomorrow too. I might go into the store. They might get me to end up having the 12, but I end up with one of them probably. But it's not high on my priority. With that being said, I'm in Apple and waiting to go to the moon. Pretty smart, LK Raw. Freddie B is at a Lansing, right? He said, would you look at NIO? It jumped to $42 today. Okay, we can look at NIO. NIO, because of, all electronic cars jumped to $42. You've seen a lot of companies, energy efficient. Tesla didn't go too crazy, I don't think. But a lot of green energy stocks jumped up, anticipating a Biden win. We can take a look at NIO, the Chinese company. Why is this not letting me? Give me 1 second here. I can't see y'all comments. Let me see. Go back here. Give me 1 second. 1 second. There we go. Let's see here. All right, cool. He said, is this video going to be uploaded later? Yes, it will be. All of my content, I'm doing it live now, but it will be here for playback, and I'll probably take clips out and put them back. So, I know some people love to get on. That's one thing that's good about it. It's all archived. You can watch it at any time. And also, this also is going to be on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Google Play, iTunes, anywhere you can get a podcast, Google Podcasts. You're also going to be able to hear this show as well. Max B said the wearable service will save Apple. That bundle is the truth. Okay. I don't wear Apple Watches because of, being in the military. Some spaces that I work, I can't have my phone. I can't have wireless devices. So I'm not trying to take my watch on and off every day. So I heard some good stuff about it, but it's not looking at it for me. All right, we was going to look at Microsoft, but since my guy, Max B, how is your surgery going if you're still in here? I know you said you had a knee replacement and you were sitting at home. So I want to see, how did that surgery go? How did that surgery go? Are you recovering pretty well? I remember you saying you had a knee replacement, or something like that. Let's see here. We're going to take a look at NIO. Let's take a look. NIO. No, 1 second. I'm looking it up over here. Okay. No, foreign issuer. No, they haven't put out. Let's take a look here. I'll give me 1 second. I'm looking up NIO. 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 November 17th. So in 2 weeks, they're going to put out their quarterly report for NIO. So that's going to be the next. So we can look at their old report. Let's take a look and see. No. Okay. This is probably what you're seeing with the big jump. So let me change that out as we go into NIO. We're done with Apple's earnings. NIO jumps 42%. Why did it do that? All right, let's put it up here. NIO jumps 42%. Bring it up here. As y'all coming in, hit that like, subscribe, comment, and share button if you haven't done so already. All right. So this is released on Monday. NIO provides October 2020 delivery update. Company achieved new record high monthly deliveries. NIO delivered 5,055 vehicles in October, increasing by 100% year over year. That's big. NIO delivered 31,000 vehicles in 2020 in total, increased by 111% year over year. Okay, NIO. Cumulative deliveries of the ES8, I'm thinking. So pretty much they delivered a lot of their vehicles. That's very big because when companies deliver, that goes into accounts receivable. So when you take in money, so for prime example, you take cash, you buy inventory. So let's say if I own a candy store, I got $1,000. That's considered cash. I go take $1,000 and I go buy inventory at the wholesale price of a bunch of candy, right? So now when that money comes in, now I have an inventory of $1,000 worth of candy. Somebody called me and say, Prince, let me get $100 worth of candy. That is considered accounts receivable. Somebody ordered something from me, and when I ship that out, it's the difference between a sale and an order. When somebody say, Prince, let me get $100 worth of candy, that is considered a order. Once I ship that product, that is now considered a sale, and it goes into accounts receivable on the income statement because I sent out the $100 worth of candy. Now I'm waiting on I'm waiting on Freddie B to pay me my $100 for my candy, right? So now it's in this accounts receivable. When it goes, once Freddie B pays me, then I'm going to take that, and then it's going to become cash. So right now, when they're saying they delivered all these vehicles, it has gone from an order to a sale, and this will be reflected on accounts receivable, which will boost the assets of the company. So right here, they're saying NIO delivered 5,555 vehicles in October, a new company record representing a strong 100% year-to-year growth. From this time last year to this year, they grew 100%. The deliveries consisted of, a bunch of their vehicles. They're breaking out all their vehicles or whatnot, or whatever the case may be. So by them put it out, they put out that they, when you look at the finances of the company, that's why you're seeing a big jump. You're seeing a big delivery of 100% increase in their deliveries. They had orders. Now they have accounts receivable. And as we can see, where does accounts receivable show up? Does accounts receivable show up on cash flow, balance, or income statements, right? So accounts receivable, right up under accounts receivable, you will see net receivables. Because just because I sent Freddie B $100, that has happened to me. Somebody has placed an order and they received the product. Some customers don't pay in time and things like that or whatnot. But that can turn into profits for the company by them delivering. That's why you're seeing the 42% jump in NIO. Okay. I can't even say your name. He's okay. Yes, I already said that. He said, what is your investment style on learning value investing? What are your thoughts on that approach? I consider myself to be a value fundamental investor. I believe value investing was made very popular by Benjamin Graham. If you haven't looked up the book Security Analysis, Benjamin Graham taught at Columbia University, and he was the mentor and teacher to Warren Buffett. So he's the godfather of value investing. So I believe in value investing, and value investing believes that you look for valuable companies you have to know the fundamentals. You got to read balance sheets, income statements, and cash flow statements. You got to understand the business, and that's how you can find a company that's trading way below its trading value, aka Apple. Apple has $65 billion sitting in cash, and it's trading for $100. So that's how you look at it. Eric says, keep up the good work. Appreciate it. Thank you. You too. Antonio, he said, good to see you, Prince. Good to see you too. Out of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Antonio is in the house. What's going on? Freddie B said, I'm doing good. I can bend my knee 90%. My doctor is looking at 120% with the next 2 months of therapy left. Man, that's awesome. You know what, Freddie B, what I want you to do, I know you got your Investor Show cup, Freddie B. I know you got your Investor Show cup, but this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to send you. It's not in my office right now. I think it's in my lounge, right? I'm going to send you a book to read, Freddie B, on financial statements. I'm going to send it to you while you're propped up. I want you to email me your address. Let me just put it in here. Email me at prince@childrenfinancialliteracy.org. Email me there. Prince PRINCE, my first name, at childrenfinancialliteracy.org. Email me your address. I'm going to send you a financial statement book. So while I know you got your Investor Show cup, just to show my appreciation for you being a long time listener, and you got your Investor Show cup, and while your knee is healing, I'm going to give you a book to read. How about that? Email me your address so I can get that out to you tonight. All right. And so while you are trying to bend that knee, congratulations on the 90%. While you're working on 120%, you're going to be able to read those financial reports even better. Right. So when you see me talking and you start to look at those financial reports, you're going to be able to beat me to the punch. Zebra also had a big jump after earnings release. Zebra. We better get into Zebra to another day, King Carter. We're getting a little late into the show. We did an hour. We did an hour into the show. Let's see what Zebra is. What is that company? ZBRA. So NIO earnings. The thing about when you see, yes, they did a nice little Zebra technology. Illinois manufactures and sales, marketing, tracking, computer printing technologies. Computer printing technologies. Yeah, it's profitable, at least. It's for $340. But NIO, but the good thing I like about that out in New York, Zebra Technologies is going for $340. We're going. What I meant to get back to say, Uber over the last 2 days have gone up 6%, 16%. So I knew to see an earnings jump, I wasn't really overly expecting it, even though I seen crazy things happen. But NIO, since this is going up 42%, the earnings could already be baked into the stock now. That could be a downside. So on November 17th, once they release their earnings and they say, hey, look, we made all this money. People are like, yeah, we know because we've seen your delivery report. So this is why you have to follow companies. You can get those press releases sent to you. And, Freddie B, before I forget, make sure if you are on this show, if you catch this podcast, email me your email address. And I know you got your Investor Show cup. And I know you've been a long time listening to the show. And while you're sitting at home getting that knee healed, I'm going to send you something to read. Yes, I can give away a bunch of stuff, but I think that if I give you a book that you read and learn something out of, even if you learn something out of one page, make you a better investor, that's going to pay you millions in the future. So I'm definitely going to do that. Definitely going to do that. And definitely as we move into the holiday season, all of the long-term listeners that's been here, not only the long-term listeners, but people who peek in every now and then, who has been following this show for years. I'm going to have a holiday season where I'm going to be giving away a lot of stuff. I won't say a lot. It's going to be a lot to me because I haven't done it before. But to show appreciation to all of you guys that's tuning into the podcast, to the Investor Show, watching me live every night. And, I don't have a set show. Y'all know I don't have a set show. I don't come on 8 o'clock on Thursday every day. I come on sporadic, and no matter when I'm here, you guys are here. Guys and girls are here, catching me on Facebook, catching me on YouTube. I've seen my podcast numbers grow, and to show appreciation, this has been my strongest year ever. So to show appreciation, I'm going to go back, and I'm probably going to give away, at least about $500 worth of stuff. It'll probably be a bunch of Amazon gift cards so y'all can go buy whatever you want to buy. But it's my way to show appreciation. Hopefully you take this stuff and buy stocks. I would like to give away stocks, but I think that'll be a little bit too, the administration back end to be too much. I don't have time to, you have to send me your account number and name. Then I got to transfer. Then I got to worry about a gift tax. I ain't worried about all that stuff. I'm going to keep it simple and easy. And I'm going to award you guys and girls who have supported me, who supported my book sales. Last month, I got my book sales report, and I was selling a book a day. That's crazy. I was averaging 1 or 2 books a day in a pandemic when I have done zero promotion. So when I look at those sales reports and I look at the numbers, that tells me everything I need to know. So to show appreciation for you guys and girls, as we move into the holiday season and the giving season, I will be giving. So I want to say appreciate you, and I thank you. I hope you learned stuff from this show. I hope everybody become billionaires and zillionaires. as they become better investors, because I know if you tune into this show and you listen to this information, you're not going to get it from anywhere else. All right. So let me see what y'all say in the comments before I head out of here and wrap up the show for tonight. Big Al, what's up? He said, good show, brother, as always. Appreciate it, man. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you. Freddie B said, thank you, man. Definitely send me that. Don't forget. You know what? Where's my phone? Let me see if you sent me the email, Freddie B. Let me see. Let me see. Where's my email at? Freddie B, I don't see your email. Where is it? As soon as I get off the show tonight, I'm going to send it to you. Coming straight to Illinois. Think about, I never met Freddie B before, but I've seen Freddie B's name in the comments and been following for years. And one thing I see you had your surgery on your knee. You had knee replacement, and I want to send something out there to you. While you sit back, I want you to read something. Okay, investing. Greetings from the UK. The UK is in here. Okay. What has been your best strategy for encountering financial literacy amongst young people? Young people with financial literacy, you have to give them a reason to do it. For prime example, in order for me to get kids to participate in my book club, I say, hey, look, I give you a pizza party and I'm going to give out gifts and toys if you read the books and pass the quizzes. And at the end, what I end up doing, I end up giving kids stocks. So you have to, these kids, they have so many distractions. Kids, they show up to the Boys and Girls Club. I'm very active with the Broncos Boys and Girls Club. I teach at the Boys and Girls Club in Washington, D.C. every Wednesday. And the thing about it is the kids, they show up to the club. They had an opportunity to play on a computer, play on their phone, play on their iPad, play with their friends, play football, flirt with the girls. The girls can flirt with the guys, whatever. They have so many opportunities, but to get them to sit down and talk about money, it's like pulling teeth. So what I learned is you got to incentivize it. You got to have something to attract them. You have some kids that are naturally going to do it, but say, hey, look, if you show up, you're going to get pizza. You show up, you're going to get, I may just do a random giveaway. I may give away a $25 gift card just for doing something. Here's a $50 gift card just for showing up to my financial literacy course. Here's a toy or whatever the case may be, right? So you have to incentivize it because kids can't see owning a Nike stock, the value of it in 10 years. I'm 36 years old. They look at me like I'm a dinosaur. You don't think they're ever going to get to 30 years old, right? So they can't see that far. So you have to lure them in, you have to incentivize it. Hey, I'm going to give away. They're like, wow, if I go to Mr. Dykes' class, if I participate in his class, he gave me a gift card to Walmart. I like that. Or he gave me a toy. Then at the end, I end up making the kid that reads each one of my books and participates, I end up making them a stockholder. I buy them. We purchase Nike for kids. We purchase Coca-Cola for kids. We purchase Kraft cheese. All the kids know what Coca-Cola is. All the kids know what Nike is. All the kids love Capri Suns, which is made by Kraft cheese. That's my way of getting it into the kids, So King Carter says they make barcode scanners for Amazon, FedEx, so their employees use it at their warehouses. Amazon said they're supposed to hire more people, so they will buy Zebra barcode scanners. They might buy Zebra altogether. Let's look at it. Zebra is worth how much? What is the market cap on Zebra? Amazon Zebra is worth $18 billion according to market cap. If I was Amazon, I'd buy the whole company. And I won't be surprised they do it. Junior B said, good stuff as always, boss. Junior B, what's going on? Where you from, Junior B? Antonio said, I'm up late putting up my son's nursery tonight. So I'm glad I caught your show as always. He's due in February. He's going to be financially literate thanks to your show. Man, that is awesome. That is awesome. And Antonio, something that I want to do as well for you. I'm working on this. I'm working some backdoor deals if I can get it done. I know companies tune into this show And something that I want to do is I want to make my book club virtual to where if kids read Wesley Learns to Invest, Wesley learns about credit, Wesley learns about insurance, take quizzes on it. I want these companies to award kids stocks. You know, if they learn, I want them to turn around and earn something from it. So that's what I like about the stock market game and things like that or whatnot. So that's what I would like to do. So congratulations on your son. I don't know if it's your first one, but congratulations on your child. Stay tuned. I definitely want to do. I can't do something for everybody, but I definitely will try. So congratulations on your son that's due in February. I have a son now. He's 9 years old, and he'll be back here in a couple weeks. Y'all probably see him tearing up my office, like he used to be, back in the day. So congratulations. Having a son is very powerful. I think the most powerful thing a man can do, being a black man myself, one of the most powerful things we can do is to create a family. Marry your wife, raise your children, be better than your father, and teach your kids to be better than you. My dad gave me $2,000 when I got married. I got married at the age of 25. My parents gave me $2,000. That was the only thing they had ever given me as an adult, right? I look at when my son is at 25, I want to give him $20,000, right? And his task is to give his son, my grandson, $40,000. So that's what I want to do. And congratulations by you starting this. Soon as your son get that Social Security number, immediately go ahead and start him in an investment account, start him a savings account, get him some insurance, a whole life insurance policy as well, so he has insurance covered. And as soon as he got that Social Security number, make him an authorized user, so build his credit. If you can tear somebody's credit down, you can build up his credit, start him in an investment account, get him an insurance account, get him a credit card. He don't even have to know about it. But you got to be doing right, Antonio, with the credit card. Don't ruin the young man's credit. But congratulations. So by the time he turns 18 to 20 years old, he should be inheriting a portfolio. His insurance should be paid for his life. So when he dies, for prime example, if I die, I have $1 million worth of life insurance. If I was to die, my wife and son would inherit $1 million. Simple and easy. Whether I die 2 years from now, 10 years from now, I can, that's the way to do it. So if your son, you live off, and make sure you have insurance. So when I die, there's no such thing as debt. Everything, the house, everything could be paid for, and there's plenty enough cash to do what my wife and son wants to do. And I'm teaching my son. Hopefully he does something smart with it, doesn't do something crazy. So he has autism, but I don't care, autism or not, you better be smart with your money, right? So congratulations. King Carter said, do you have a link to your quiz? I would like to give kids to your books. Yes. You know what? I can put the Amazon link on here. You can go anywhere, type in Wesley Learns. Let's see here. Let's type in Wesley Learns. I'll put the Amazon link. Wesley Learns. Now the quizzes right now, they're only offered at the Boys and Girls Club, and they're offered in some schools. But we're going to, you know what? Let me give you the whole website. WesleyLearnsToInvest.com. Go to WesleyLearnsToInvest.com. WesleyLearnsToInvest.com. That's what the whole book series is. You can get paperback, you can get ebooks, you can get audiobooks, but I don't have the quizzes available digital as of now. They're only through partners as of now, right? So, you can get all these books. Even when your son is born, he can't read, play the audio. Play the audio. So he gets older. He's like, insurance. I've heard of insurance. So there's the link to WesleyLearnsToInvest.com. That's the ebook, the audio book. By you supporting those books, I always tell people, don't donate to me, support me. Don't donate to me, support me. You know, that helps me support the Boys and Girls Club, and that helps support my foundation, and that helps support myself as well. Here we go here. Junior B says, I'm in Tijuana, he said in Tijuana, but from Long Beach, California, the Compton area. Tijuana is in the building. Tijuana, Mexico, New York. We're all over the place. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool for you from Long Beach, Compton. I've driven on the 5, and I never Freddie B, I don't see your email. I just got another email. I've driven on the 5 North, and I saw a sign that said, welcome. It said Compton, next exit. That's the closest I got to Compton. I saw it say Compton exit, whatever. And I said, oh, man, that's Compton over there. Never went. But I don't think I've been to the Long Beach area. I think the farthest north, I just been mostly from LA down. I never went up to the Bay Area. I kind of regret it a little bit. Never been to the Bay Area. I'll probably come out there one day. But, yeah, that's how we, congratulations, man. Tijuana, Mexico. I lived in San Diego there for a while. So, yeah, thank you for tuning in. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I got to get out of here. It's getting late. This show has been on for an hour and a half. I thank y'all for tuning in. Be safe, happy investing, invest smart. Today, we didn't get a chance to go over Microsoft, but let's do a quick little recap. We talked about politics and business. We looked at Apple earnings. We looked at Uber earnings. We talked about why Uber earnings were important. And we talked about the NIO jump 42%, what happened. So I hope you guys and girls love that content, breaking down earnings and values of companies, the cash flow, the balance sheets, going through it, seeing is it growing, is money, where is it going, how dividends help and hurt companies. So that's the thing I was looking at, ladies and gentlemen. Don't forget about it. We also talked about guns and ammo. People going to grab guns and ammo. If President Trump don't win, I believe people are going to grab guns and ammo, and I believe people are going to grab the renewable energy is going to see a big jump as well. So, ladies and gentlemen, I thank you guys and girls for tuning in. As always, let me see where we're at now. You know what? You got it again. Remember, the bull will that might be my closing statement, Max B. Remember, the bull will always win. Back in March, when everybody was tuning into this show, thinking the world was coming to an end. Now look, the bull will always win. The bear will have its moments, but the bull will win, especially with financially sturdy companies that can withstand the width of time. The bull will always win. But until the next video, podcast, cartoon, or whatever else crazy you see me do around the globe, remember, the bull will always win. Peace. Be safe. I'm out. Thank you.